Hey everybody, welcome to Bike Hike Botany. So today is December 29th and I'm filming the last episode of the year. So I thought as 2022 is coming to an end, that this would be a really great opportunity to show you guys the highlights over the past year, just reminisce a little bit, just tell you what were my best experiences and my favorite hikes this year. So let's get into it. So as many of you know, that this year started a little differently than the previous year. If you guys watched my videos last year, you'll know that Richard had a pretty bad hip accident. And basically at the beginning of this year, that left me without a hiking buddy. So I didn't really know what to do, and I figured, well, I'm not going to stop hiking. I wanted to continue the channel, but I was going to have to find a way to go out onto these more remote hikes, these more difficult hikes, but in a safe way. So I decided actually to join a group to begin the Caminos de Costa Rica. So those of you who have watched previous episodes might know about it. This is a 280-kilometer hike divided into 16 sections, and it goes from one coast to the other here in Costa Rica. And basically this year I did 2 stages. Yeah, I definitely wanted to do more, but it didn't really work out just for the logistics and such. But this year I'm hoping that I can get some more hikes in for the Caminos and check a few off my list. So the group I decided to go hike with was Trails, and basically headed out to the PALO VERDE reserve in the mountains of CARTAGO. And this was a really exciting hike. It was really beautiful, just different scenery I had never really seen before. Lots of beautiful wild plants, especially up in the reserve. And I remember seeing this one plant, the Monotropa cochinea, the red Indian pipe. That was pretty much one of the highlights as far as plants go for that hike. As you guys know, I hiked alone or hiked with Richard, so this was a really different experience. I was the only foreigner in the group, so I got a real full-on cultural immersion, which was really great. Some of the people are amazing. I still keep in touch with them, so just some really great memories from that hike. So as you can see, the beach is a little busy today. Paco always gets really busy between Christmas and New Year's. And people from San Jose start to come in, and I'm expecting over the next few days it's going to get even busier. So anyway, let's get into my second highlight for this year, and that would be my hike between volcanoes. It began at Volcan Irazu, and then it went all the way to Volcan Turrialba. This was a 20-kilometer hike, and I did this one with Caminantes Tequisha. And why I like this hike so much, it was extremely challenging, so I'd never done a hike that difficult before. There was a lot of climbing in the second part, and also the scenery was absolutely incredible. There were clouds hovering all over the place, lots of moss, lots of epiphytic plants. It was really, really beautiful, and we passed a lot of pastures and cow farms along the way as well. And I grew up around dairy farms, so kind of reminded me a little bit of where I grew up. But just a beautiful, beautiful place, and the guys were really great. I really liked them. I met some really nice people on that hike, and I've actually gone on to do other hikes with Caminantes Tequisha, and I will probably have more planned this coming year. I just really like their style of hiking. And my next highlight of 2022 would be filming the Shadow Man video.
What was that?
So that was such a hoot. That was so much fun. So I remember I asked Kelly and her husband if I could sign them up as actors in my video. We made this crazy Shadow Man costume for Dave, and the thing was just so ridiculous. It was really poorly made. I kind of made it at the last minute, and I don't have a sewing machine, so the sewing wasn't the best. We had a few costume problems during the filming. What cracked me up was just their participation. So both of them were really into their roles. Dave was an awesome shadow man. He's made us laugh so much. And Kelly, she was like the real scream queen. At the end of the filming, I remember I told her, just act like you're super scared and like somebody's really coming after you. And that look she has at the end of the video is absolutely priceless. So I'm gonna actually just put it in right now so you guys can take a look at that. Now, if that doesn't deserve an Oscar, I don't know what does. Okay, now for my last highlight of 2022, and this was probably tops as far as I'm concerned, and this was seeing a wild tapir in Corcovado National Park. So I've wanted to go to Corcovado since I moved to Costa Rica 16 years ago, and I just never got around to it, never had the opportunity, and I've always wanted to see a tapir. They're really strange animals, and you know, we don't have those back in Canada, so I really wanted to see one. So back in March, I decided to sign up for a 3-day hike, and we were going to hike all over Corcovado. And on day 2, I remember we woke up super early, we left the camp before dawn, and we headed down to a beach that was close by. And right as the light was coming up, sure enough, there was a mama tapir and a baby tapir walking along the beach, and slowly they were heading right towards us. So we all just stood still, took our cameras out, and they walked right past us, like at arm's length. They weren't afraid of us at all. So I got some really good footage of them, and that was just a really incredible experience. That place is so wild and such an amazing place to see. So I'd have to say that that was my top highlight of 2022. So I hope you guys really enjoy just reminiscing about this past year. If you guys like this content, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel, give this video a like. You can also head on over to my Buy Me a Coffee and make a contribution if you want. I've also got some extras on there. And having said that, I just want to wish you guys all a very, very happy new year. Thank you so much for being part of the adventure this past year. And I hope to see you in the new year. Pura vida.